Welcome to Sleep Story of Legends, where the greatest minds and most legendary figures speak their final thoughts before drifting into the realm of dreams. Tonight, we step into the mind of Light Yagami, the man who wielded the power of the Death Note. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment about the next legendary figure you'd like to hear from. Now, close your eyes, relax, and let the story begin. Light lay in the darkness of his room, the cold glow of the moon casting long shadows across the floor. His heartbeat was slow, measured, but beneath the stillness, his mind was a storm of thoughts. Al was dead, the greatest detective in the world, his greatest rival, his most worthy opponent, gone, killed by his hand, a victory. Then why did it feel like a loss? Light turned onto his back, staring at the ceiling. The world would never know how much effort it had taken to bring El down. He had outplayed him, set the perfect trap, maneuvered every piece on the board exactly where it needed to be. It had been a battle of intellect, a war between justice and evil. Justice and evil. Light exhaled. What did those words even mean anymore? When he first found the Death Note, he had believed in an absolute truth. Crime was evil, punishment was justice. But as he lay here, victorious yet strangely hollow, he wondered if he had crossed the very line he sought to erase. Had he become the thing he despised? Had he, in his crusade to cleanse the world, lost his own soul? Or was this simply the price of true justice? LS' final moments replayed in his mind. That expression, the way his eyes lingered on him, the slight knowing smirk on his lips. Had he known? Had Al realized he was going to die? It had unsettled Light in a way he hadn't admitted, even to himself. Al was not a man who feared death. He was a man who sought the truth. And if, in those last seconds, he had found it, if he had known that Light Yagami, his so-called friend, was Kira, then had he won after all? Light clenched his fist. No, his death was proof of his own victory. He was the god of this new world, and gods did not falter. He had eliminated the one threat that stood in his way, and now, with the power of the Death Note in his hands, he could finally bring forth a world free of crime, free of filth, free of the rot that had plagued humanity for centuries. And yet, a ghost of a memory drifted through his mind. The moment he had lost his memories of the Death Note, the time when he had been an innocent student again, free of the weight of his own actions. For a brief period, he had been different, not the god of the new world, not the harbinger of justice, just Light. Was that the real him? Or had the power of the Death Note twisted him into something unrecognizable? Light shut his eyes, as if that could stop the questions from gnawing at his conscience. He had always believed in the strength of his mind, his will, his righteousness. But the Death Note, it changed people. It was intoxicating, consuming. It gave one the power of a god, but at what cost? Had he lost himself? The second Kira, she had been willing to give everything for him, even her own lifespan, twice over. And yet, he had never once truly loved her. He had only used her, manipulated her devotion, twisted her loyalty to serve his own ends. Did she deserve that? Did she deserve him? He tried to picture her now, her bright eyes full of admiration, her boundless energy, the way she would cling to him as if he were her entire world. He had never returned that devotion, but had he ever even been capable of love since picking up the Death Note? Or had his heart been lost to the pages, turned into something cold and mechanical, a mind that only processed strategy and elimination? And his family, his father, if he had told them the truth, would they have seen him as righteous? Or would they have called him a monster? His father had fought for justice his entire life, and light had deceived him until the very end. Would he be proud of the world light was creating? Or would he be horrified? The thought of his mother and Sayu, so blissfully unaware of his double life, made his stomach turn. He had justified it as protecting them, but was it really protection? Or was it cowardice? And then there was the Shinigami, watched from the shadows, amused, waiting. The one constant in all of this. The one being who had known from the very beginning how this story would end. Light had once thought he controlled Ryuk, that the Death Note was his to wield. But was it the other way around? Had Ryuk been in control all along, leading him down this path like a puppet on strings? Ryuk had always been so indifferent, never truly picking sides. And yet, Light could not shake the feeling that he was nothing more than entertainment to the Shinigami. A spectacle, a fleeting amusement. Would Ryuk even remember him after all of this was over? Or would he simply laugh, take his Death Note back, and move on to the next human willing to throw their soul away for power? And what of Al's real name? Al Lalit. Light let the name roll through his mind, savoring it. He had searched for it, killed for it, and now it meant nothing. The name was just a name. And yet, there had been power in it. It had been the key to everything, the final piece of the puzzle. Alice's real name had been his undoing, and perhaps Light's real name would one day be his own undoing as well. What would happen to him when he died? Ryuk had told him once, there was nothing, no heaven, no hell, just emptiness, just Miu. Light had brushed it off then. He had been so certain he would never die, that his reign as God would be eternal. But now, he wasn't so sure. Was this worth it? To create a perfect world, only to vanish into nothingness when it was done? He sighed. There was no use in questioning it now. He had already chosen his path, and he would see it through to the end. Even gods must rest. Light turned on his side, his eyes finally growing heavy. The thoughts, for now, quieted. Tomorrow was a new day. Tomorrow, he would continue his work. The world was his to shape, but deep in his subconscious, in the quiet space between wakefulness and dreams, a small voice whispered, "What have you become?" And so, Light drifts into sleep, his mind still tangled in the endless web of justice and power. What do you think? Did Light truly win? Or did he lose himself along the way? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more legendary bedtime stories. Sleep well, and until next time, stream of legends.